Hey guys, it's Tuesday, so I'm supposed to be doing a tip video. I really didn't have anything prepared, so I figured I would let you guys meet my new dog. This is Phoebe. I just adopted her on Saturday. She is not going to stay for the video, apparently. She's still getting used to the cat, and the cat's a very exciting thing for her. So she often pops after that. She is a German Shepherd Border Collie mix, as far as I understand. I believe I said she's 3 years old. Today was her first day home alone, which she did really well. I kept her and the cat separated. I kind of set the living room up so it was really open. Give her a little bit of space. I set her up with some toys to keep her occupied, which seems to have worked. It's a change of pace for me because my last two dogs were not big on going for walks, whereas she actually enjoys exercise. So I've had to get up earlier and take her before I leave for work. And then when I come home, I take her for another one, or we'll go outside and, throw a ball around or something like that to get her a little bit of exercise. But she did really well today. So I'm really looking forward to it. She's wondering why the hell I'm sitting here talking to nothing. Why don't you come up here? Come on. Come on. There you go. There you go. But she's a great dog, so I'm very happy to have her. One of the experiences I went through, I went to adopt a dog, and I was blown away at how difficult of a process it was. I never imagined that it could be as hard as it was to adopt a dog. They were asking me so many questions I can't even begin to tell you. And at one point I was going through an agency, I found a dog that I thought was going to be a really good fit. They made me fill out this absolutely over-the-top questionnaire, which is fine. I understand the purpose of those things. You're trying to make sure the animal doesn't just bounce around into the system again, which I totally get as somebody who's done animal rescue work and as a breeder and all of that. Get your toy? Hey, apparently it worked. She's occupied. Oh, no, I distracted her. Anyhow, so I filled out this application. I thought she was going to crush this camera stand. It asked a lot of stuff that was pertinent and a lot of questions that, frankly, I don't really know what they had to do with anything. But it got to the point where they wanted veterinary references and all that kind of stuff. So I had to call my vet and get them all the permission to do all that, which I did. And I told my vet, I said, I don't care who calls for my vet records, just go ahead, through this process because they're vet records. It's not like there's personal information in there. Oh, she's so close to running it over. So anyhow, I went through that. That was all good. They wanted to know animals in the house, information. Well, my cat is just called Cat. She was a stray cat that somebody dumped off. She was definitely somebody's pet at some point. But somebody had dumped her out here. I live in the middle of the woods. And she was eating out of my trash, things like that. Some friends of mine came over one day and just started meowing at her, and she started meowing back, came up to them, they picked her up and brought her in my house. That's how I ended up with a cat. So I had a friend that did some animal control stuff and helped me, get her to a vet and all that. We got everything checked out. She was already spayed at the time. She was about a year old. She didn't have any fleas or parasites, which was probably kind of surprising. We dewormed her and stuff like that just to be safe. But needless to say, I don't know what the cat's name was, so I was just calling her Cat. We didn't even know at first if it was a male or a female when I first got it. I'm not a cat person, other than there's balls there. I wouldn't know anything. And she was young at the time, so we really didn't know. We couldn't even tell if she was spayed. So anyhow, I just started calling it Cat. So that's what she's used to, so I kept that as her name. She doesn't know that I'm just calling her by her species. She thinks that's her name. So they were weirded out by that. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, she's taken to the vet, she's fed well, she has a litter box, she has a run of the house, she had a good life. Apparently her name matters, that much. It's not like her name was Shithead or something, it's Cat. So that weirded them out. But then the thing that really pissed me off was the reason that they were basically rejecting me from adopting a dog was because I used to use Frontline for years, and Frontline just became ineffective in this area, and I think it's largely ineffective in a lot of areas, but it wasn't working anymore. So at the time, I was buying Frontline on my eBay account, because I could get it for like 40 to 50% less than what it was available anywhere else. So as long as you match the formula and make sure you're getting the appropriate formula, because there were different ones for different regions, you were all good. So then I switched over to the Seresto collars, which are good for like 8 months if I'm not mistaken. If you go through the vet, you pay like 80, 90 bucks for the size that I was doing. But if you went to Walmart, Walmart sold the same exact thing, you know, from Seresto for like $25 cheaper. So I bought them there. Well, they told me I had to produce receipts of that stuff. And I'm like, why would I save a receipt for a Seresto collar that I bought while I was doing my grocery shopping and other shopping, especially for a dog that had been dead for over a year? Didn't really make a lot of sense to me why I would have that or anybody would have that. And they basically said that because I didn't have proof of flea and tick preventative, which I was using, that was going to be an issue. And that really blew my mind because, you know, I'm not rich, I don't live a lavish lifestyle, but I take good care of my animals and I always have. You know, when Nina got sick, I had to rob Peter to pay Paul and do all this stuff, and if it wasn't for a friend basically paying for a snake in advance that they're not going to have probably for another year or so, I wouldn't have been able to swing all those vet bills that I had for her, but I found a way through maxing out credit cards, whatever I had to do to get her the care that she needed. And that's always been my mentality with animals. It doesn't matter what it costs me or what I have to sacrifice, I get it done for them because that's our responsibility. So it was kind of upsetting to me that I basically got rejected over nothing from that. But fortunately, I found somebody that, you know, works with dogs, and dogs like Phoebe, who had a rough time in their previous home. It wasn't working out. Got there, got some training, worked with her. She's a wonderful dog. Just like Nina was a wonderful dog for me, she wasn't necessarily a wonderful dog elsewhere, just because she had some behavioral issues that required you to keep control of her. Phoebe, I assume, is the same way. So far, I've seen nothing but a very affectionate, wonderful dog. She listens very well, by and large. You know, there's a lot of new things going on. I'm new. The house is new. The cat is new. It's a new neighborhood. So given all of that, being left home alone in a house she's only been in for 2 days, you know, and I left and went to work today. She did great. So I think she's doing wonderful. She's been great on walks. She listens well. She heals well. She does all that stuff. So I'm looking forward to it. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Hopefully this video won't do as poorly as the last animal video that wasn't snakes. That thing did horrible. But like I said, I didn't really have anything planned for tonight, and between work and me having to go in early tomorrow, and I'm just behind at home on things as I was trying to accommodate her and get things set up for her. So this is going to have to be the video for tonight. Thursday we will do a Meet the Collection segment. That obviously is a lot easier for me to do. All I got to do is grab the snake and talk about it. But tip videos, I need ideas. I can only come up with so much stuff, and usually it's spur of the moment. I see something and it triggers an idea. So the more input I get from you guys, the more content that I can bring to you. You know, I have a decent amount of knowledge, and I'm willing to do research and find out information if it's not something I'm totally comfortable with, but I need ideas on what you guys want to learn about. Something I can talk about in a like 8 to 15 minute video is ideal for the tip videos. All right. Otherwise, we will see you Thursday. All right, guys. Phoebe's over there laying down, so she'll say goodbye, and I'll say goodbye, and we'll see you.